Hi. Today's podcast is brought to you by Stephen Walker. I went to a book signing on Saturday at Daddy-O's in Sellersville, and I met Stephen Walker. Now, he wrote many things, but among them is Castle Alabaster, which is a series of short stories and poems. And I wanted a book of his, and he said, this one is good for you. And I wondered why, and I don't know, and I didn't ask him if it was because of the first poem. As many of you know, I've been going through a divorce, and it's final. And it's very hard to accept things that you don't want to happen. I've spoken to many people throughout the past couple of years, especially with COVID, who have lost people through death. And that is very hard. But I'm not going to say it's not as painful to go through that. It is painful. But at least when someone leaves you through death, you have the beautiful memory of their love for you as much as your love for them. When you part through divorce and one party does not love you anymore, you realize that they didn't like me. They didn't love me. Why didn't they? What's not to love? Hey, wait a minute here. This changes all my plans for the rest of my life. And it becomes very hard to accept, to come to terms with it. You want to know why, how come, and it's not fair, and now my future looks different, and I'm afraid, and blah, 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 blah. You just go on and on. This poem put the words to my pain. This poem, it took everything out of my heart. And once I read it over and over again, all of a sudden, everything started to hurt less. I think sometimes you have to speak it and just let the words go, and they're gone. And so instead of wondering about it, wondering why, how come, and all of this kind of thing, I now can accept it and I can move on. So without further ado, I'm going to read Stephen Walker's poem called Nothing Else Matters. And instead of the word her, I will use his or him because it pertains to me. But maybe many of you can relate to it. And so let me read it for you right now. Okay. I changed rooms because I need the light. I'm getting old, people. Okay, this poem is from Stephen Walker's book, Castle Alabaster, and the poem is called Nothing Else Matters. This was a song by Metallica that was chosen by the author and his second bride as their wedding song. So, I'm going to read this poem as it pertains to me. Nothing Else Matters by Stephen Walker. Which witch can stitch my torn and broken heart? I've reaped what I have sown, and wish to keep what I still own from spilling through the hole in my soul and scattering along the road on which I travel. And so I need a witch to sew the hole in my torn and broken soul. Though steer and stare spelled differently, tear and tear remain the same. You tore the tear that caused the tear and pain. You ripped a hole to spill out all my sane. And through your eyes I see how you despise me, but vision clear and you are not here reveals your view is not here nor there nor anywhere. You wanton witch, you want to steer me clear. So now which witch can cast a spell to hypnotize and mesmerize me? Refill the hole inside my soul, stitch it shut and make me whole again. I stare into the air with such despair and call upon my sister Hecate. She once came to tell good fortunes for King James. I ask her now to do for me the same. Tragic if a loved one's lost to lack of life while love still lingers, but tenfold feel the pain of love one-sided, love that's chided, rejected, and in vain. Love lost to lack of life tastes of bittersweet pain. Love lost but lingers and alive one-sided, tears a hole that spills out sane. There is no sweet, just bitter pain. I shall never be the same. Why, alone I hide to cry. Laughter, lust, and loving shows their shadows in my eye. But in his memory all those things are lost, just pain and discontentment. A decade was the cost. He blames me for so many years just wasted and forgets the fresh fruit gladly tasted. He throws what he conceives as traits that he's displeased with upon my image and my name. He points away to redirect the blame. Yet all those traits I've cast away, and he still owns them every day. I've tried to stand by with support, but only met with great retort. I finally come to cast last resorts, to find a witch to stitch my broken heart and sew the hole in my soul, to make me whole again. But I can only see his face, breathe in his scent, his taste, and I melt to wrap my arms around him, feel him in my space. No witch can take his place. Every day I pray my longing will erase. And if I found a witch with an itch to stitch me whole, I'd be selling off my soul by causing him to pay a toll that can't be sold, because my heart is still on hold. My love was promised beyond our getting old. A witch has come with pointed steel and thread. He claims to know just how to sew, repair my heart, my head, but I approach with dread. All the while I smile, I spend my time and ease my mind with witches who beguile. Still I know it's just a show, to hide the pain I dare not face to know, a place I fear to go, admit the pain of loss I cannot throw away. Instead I cling fast to false hope of happiness someday. I fill my hours hoping to devour the pain away, knowing that it stays. I look the other way. But still I see the sight of sorrow's sullen symphony sounding loud enough inside my soul to sear my heart and tear the hole I need to stitch. I'll use a witch to scratch my itch, but the scars are here to stay. Thank you, Stephen Walker. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, which now I think is stitched. Bye-bye.